Hey, Damon DeMarco here for CreateX3.com. Today's story is about what happens when you lose something reasonably valuable to you. Before we go any further, make sure you sign up by clicking in the thing right down here, the subscribe button, and make sure you ring that bell, and that way you'll get all the videos that I make as I make them. I generally make them once a week, although sometimes I get a little busy. Today, I'd like to talk about something a little bit unusual, but no less applicable to your pursuits as a creative artist. Today, I'd like to talk about my glasses. Specifically, these glasses that I wear for distance every once in a while. Now, fortunately, at this point in my life, my eyesight is not terrible. I do notice that I find myself looking a little bit like this when it comes to reading. These glasses are mostly for distance. If I'm driving at night, for instance, and I want to see the signs, I can wait until they get a little bit closer, but these glasses, they bring the lettering of the signs into a new level of crispness. If I go out to a movie or a theater production, for instance, the same thing happens. I put these on, and suddenly all the lines are very, very crisp. Could I get by without them? I frequently do, but there's no reason that I should. I was wearing these glasses when a friend of mine came in from France recently. He only had a few hours with me, and so we went out to a bar around the corner from my apartment here in Manhattan. We had some sandwiches and we had a drink or two, and then he had to leave to go see a family member down on the Lower East Side. We were so excited to see one another, we were so involved in our conversation that I literally clapped him on the back and said, "Go, I'll see you later. Check back in when you're finished." And I walked out of that bar without my glasses. Imagine me the next evening when I went to watch television and I'm fumbling around for my glasses and I can't find them anywhere in the apartment. I backtracked mentally. I'd gone here, I'd gone here, I'd gone here. Before my friend came along, I'd gone to the grocery store, I went to the bank, I bought this, I went to the subway station, I went downtown for this. I could not figure out exactly where I might have lost my glasses. And then I walked past the same bar where we had had that very brief meal, and the manager, whom I know by his first name, and he knows me as the guy who sometimes comes around, said, "Oh, hey, how are you?" I said, "Yeah, pretty good. How are you?" He says, Oh, you're the guy. Glasses." I said, "Yes, I just lost a pair of glasses. Did I lose them?" "Of course, I must have lost them here." He said, "The other night." I said, "Yes, the other night I was here." And he said, "I have them for you." I said, "Thank you so much. When is a good time for me to come back?" And he said, "We're a little busy right now. Come by at about 9 o'clock after the crowds have left." And I said, "That's perfect. Thank you so much. This really makes my day." At 9 o'clock, I went back to the restaurant. I couldn't find my friend, the manager, on duty, so I spoke to one of the hostesses and I said, "Hi, the manager asked me to come by. It turns out that he's got a pair of glasses that I left here and I'm so thankful for that. Do you think you could get them for me?" And she said, "Glasses? What glasses?" I said, the manager told me that he has my glasses and he's holding them for me. And he told me to come back here at 9 o'clock. I don't see him anywhere around here, but if I could grab them, it would be very, very helpful." And she said, "Well, I don't know where they are." I said, "Could you look? Do you know somebody who might know where they are?" And she goes, "They're just glasses." It was a disappointing response. It was the kind of response that said, "Hey, everything that you're excited about, everything that you're hopeful of, no. Not only do I not appreciate it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to do anything about it." I was underwhelmed, disappointed, a little irritated, but it's just a pair of glasses. Really, mostly I was curious. Why would anyone adopt such an attitude? It didn't make any sense to me. Well, first of all, you're in a service industry, so one assumes that you would want to be of service to anybody who walks through the door of your establishment, no matter what it is that they're seeking, a drink, a sandwich, a lost pair of glasses. This person had no interest in doing anything of that type, had no interest in service whatsoever. I didn't push the issue because, frankly, I saw right away that that would do nothing. I thanked this person for their time. I walked back out of the restaurant, and I resolved that the next day, as early as possible, once the restaurant had opened, I would go back in and I would look for my friend, the manager, which I did. When he saw me the next day, he said, "Hey, how are you?" I said, "Great." He said, "Glasses?" I said, Yeah, glasses." I didn't bother going into what had happened. I didn't want to tell tales out of school. It could have been that that person who had stymied me in the middle of searching for my glasses might have had a bad day, might be having a bad life for all I know. I just didn't see any reason to compound the problem over and over and over again. My friend, the manager, said, "Hold on for a second, I'll be right back with him." He disappeared in the office of the restaurant and reappeared a few moments later, holding my glasses, which he gave to me with a smile. Said, "Okay." I said, "It's more than okay. I really owe you one." He said, "Come back anytime." knowing, of course, that I would. One of the reasons that I'll go back in there more and more often is because of people like that. People who pay attention. People who understand that the needs of their customers, the people in their immediate circle, their friends, their family, whomever it may be, become their needs if you're bold enough to let that happen. It's just a pair of glasses, like I said, but it really meant a lot to me. In fact, it put a real warm spot in my chest to think that not only had somebody found my glasses, not only had somebody associated, oh, that's the guy who comes in here every once in a while, but they had thought to say, even though it's outside my sphere, this might be really important to somebody else. It's a tiny gesture, so tiny, and yet paying it forward causes this incredible ripple effect, a feedback loop, if you will. I'll go back to that restaurant again and again for any number of reasons, not the least of which is the fact that I feel like I'm at home there, like the people there watch out for me, that they're good people, they take care of each other, they take care of their own, and not just out of a profit motive. It's not about that. It's just common human decency, which is something, quite frankly, that I think we've lost sight of as our world gets more mechanized, automated, artificially intelligentated. It's good to do good things for other people. It makes us feel good, and it pays it forward in a way that, look, I'm not religious. I do believe in karma, the same way that I believe in Isaac Newton's third law of physics. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. What I'm trying to tell you is it is entirely within our control to make sure that the things that we do, the things that we choose consciously to do, ripple forward in a positive way. Please understand, I'm not suggesting that we're always going to get it right. We're not. We're human. We fail. But if we focus a little bit more on doing what's right for other people as well as ourselves, the universe that we exist in, be it one city block, one city, one state, one town, a nation, the planet, or something even larger than that, will begin to feel a lot more comfortable and at home. That's what I got out of somebody finding my pair of glasses. And it's something I wanted to talk to you about today because it made a big impact on my life, and I hope it makes a big impact on yours. Today, if it doesn't sound preachy, would you do me a favor? Pay it forward. Just a little bit. A smile to somebody you don't know. A thank you to somebody who holds the door for you. Or why not hold the door for somebody else that you don't know? Give up your seat on the bus for somebody who looks like they could really use it. Help a mother pushing a stroller because, believe me, she could probably use it. Forget about your worries and your cares for just a moment, if you have them, and focus on the person in front of you. See if you can help them in some small way. I'm not asking you to bend over backwards. I'm not asking you to give vast sums of money. I'm just asking you to remember that we're all in this together in ways that I think are far too complicated for our small minds to understand. We don't even have to understand it. Just act as if it's true, and it will be. And the feedback loop that we put out will come back to us, I believe, in generous ways, in ways that will make everybody's life a little bit more worth living. That's all I have for you for today. My name is Damon DeMarco. Thank you so much for stopping by. For CreateX3.com, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay creative.